welcome to World of Motorcycles, the home of Ducati SA. Joining me on the couch is fellow MotoTriber Don.
Hi.
And sat across from us is the head honcho, big cheese in charge, dealer principal, Mr. Ian van der Merwe.
G'day.
And he'll be answering some questions we had regarding the Ducati Monster we had on review recently. So first of all, Ian, thank you so much for your time today.
Welcome.
And without any further ado, let's just jump straight into it. The exhaust that we had on the Monster on test, the Termes, obviously an optional extra, and
Correct, yeah.
He'd argue and said the bike can't do without it. But how much was that optional extra?
So the one on that bike, the demo bike that you rode, that's just the slip-on. I think that retails for about 30, including VAT. You do get a full system as well, which is a bit more. I think it's about 45.
Now, my question to you is, there's a lot of people that work at odd hours, and they want that little grunt of the Termione exhaust, but a lot of times it's too loud, especially for people that live in complexes as well. Would there be something that would have a happy medium in between that has that little bit more grunt but isn't too loud for that?
It's not loud.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No, there are other options. There's obviously many other aftermarket options. So the Termi is the homologated pipe that Ducati recommend.
Okay.
But you can go and fit SE projects, which may be not the right idea not the right solution for you, but there are others. I'm not sure if you can add another dB killer or the dB killer is taken out of that pipe. I don't recall.
Okay.
So it's loud or not loud? Those are your options.
Great.
Just go easy on the throttle when you're in the complex.
Sounds good. Push it out the driveway.
Then in terms of seating on this bike, the standard seat was great, but for shorter guys, maybe there's a shorter seat option, a comfort seat option. Does anything exist for the Monster?
Yeah, so there are lowered seat options, but we rather recommend the lowering kit. So a lot of the Ducatis these days come with lowering kits that you can buy and fit after you've taken delivery or before PDI. So it's a different spring and a link to make it lower. So the bike still works as it should, as opposed to cutting a seat or something like that.
How much would that actually lower the bike?
You can adjust it. I would think it goes, off the top of my head, there's a 20, 30 and a 40 mil option.
Okay, and then so that's for the shorter guys. Would there be something for the taller guys as well, or?
Yeah, there's a raised seat as well.
Okay.
And hopefully that should be enough. I don't know how tall you mean.
Okay.
Great stuff. No, that answers that. And then in terms of luggage, there's no mounting points. Anything that's obvious is standard. Is something supplied from Ducati's side, or would you look third party completely for that?
Yeah, the older Monsters used to have luggage for softer luggage, but this one from Ducati, there's only a tank bag option, and then you'd have to fit aftermarket or soft luggage to strap on the back.
And then on that note, in terms of the mirrors that we had as well, that we weren't super duper happy with, and maybe like a cowl or a screen or something, is there something in Ducati's catalog to take care of that?
So in the catalog, there is a touring screen that would replace this little bikini one that comes with the Plus as standard. The standard one doesn't have that. So there's that option. The mirrors, there's no other. There are Rizoma, so Ducati obviously associated with Rizoma, so you could fit any of those or any other aftermarket. A lot of the guys fit the bar-in mirrors on these bikes, just because of the nature of the beast.
Then a question that a lot of people have in terms of this is Ducati's, I wouldn't say entry level, but it is your entry point into Ducati. But there's no A2 friendly version of the Monster, or is there?
There is, as far as I remember, more popular and in demand obviously in Europe, but there is you're talking about the 35 kilowatt restriction.
Yes.
You can do that. We've never had that request, but it's possible because it's only software. You're right. I mean, it used to be, so traditionally the Monster was where people mainly that was their first Ducati. That's where they started, because you've got a 400, you've got 600s. And in fact, this is the 108th generation of a Monster.
That's ridiculous.
It's a big part of Ducati's history. And in fact, in 2015, 50% of Ducati's sales were Monsters. Obviously, Europe a lot more popular than anywhere else. But yeah, these bikes have got a long history and heritage. So it is what we call now our entry-level bike, even though it's a 950. If you wanted something smaller, you'd have to go to the Scrambler range, as in just a smaller bike maybe, or it's the same kind of market, I think.
Yeah.
It's that cafe racer, cafe to cafe, coffee shop, shorter rides. It's not your touring bike generally.
But it's crazy that a 950 is like the smallest one currently. We're back in the day. I mean, it was like 400 wasn't really frowned upon.
Yeah, I think it's just where, due to the emissions and the things that the guys, the controls that they're trying to get, struggling with the smaller bikes. Obviously now with all the water cooling, see even the Scrambler range now, there's still 800s, the new Gen 2 ones that are just being launched. Still the 800 air-cooled motor, but obviously people, the manufacturers are struggling to keep the Euro 5 and whatever compliancy with the older motors. So I think they're also sort of streamlining now. You'll see on the floor on all the range of bikes, it's either V4 or 950. The 900cc type motors. There's a couple of variations of this motor, but you'll see, so if you look at the Panigale V4, that's a proper high performance Desmo motor. But now the Multistrada has the Gran Turismo V4, and so will the Diavel V4 have the Gran Turismo motor. So you'll see they are just streamlining the engine.
Yes, so they don't have all those options that they have to keep catering for and design.
Yeah, if you look at the Monsters, they had 400s, 600s, 700s, 800s, 1000s over the years. It's incredible,
So in terms of that, this is the only Monster that's planned at the moment, the 950 platform.
Correct, there's no others,
Just to get back to the A2 part of it, would you be able to dumb it down enough to have it on that level, basically?
Yeah, because it's just software via the ECU. So
Okay.
you could lock it to restrict the performance for the license.
Then it doesn't go above that.
Yeah, it doesn't, You can then go and unlock it again via software.
Once you're ready for the next
if you
step.
sold the bike or you get your license,
great.
or you sold it, somebody else could change it.
Very, very cool. Then the next question I have is in terms of service costs and intervals on the Monster. What are they like?
So these are the still the twin motor, so which means your servicing is at 15,000 kilometer intervals, major at 30. And cost-wise, you're looking at generally, like most bikes, annual service or the 15k service at around 4,000 rand a month. 4,000 rand, not a month.
No.
For the service. The Desmo service, which is the bigger one at 30, is obviously a little bit more. It's mainly due to labor. So to do the Desmo service on these motorcycles takes a lot longer. It's like an 8-hour job. So the costs are a bit more. And depending at the time what you need as well, do you need sprockets, do you need brakes, pads as well? So it varies between, I would say, 10 and 14,000 rand.
Okay.
Generally, what does the service entail?
It's like a basic service.
The basic service is like your annual service where they check the bike through the numerous points that they need to. Change the oil, change the fluids, or all the fluids, I'd say. Check the brakes, check everything else, any software updates, because it's all online now. So the bikes don't even come with a service book anymore. It's just online only. So it's all tracked online with Ducati, so it doesn't matter who owns the bike. There's a history of the motorcycle.
One of our next questions actually came from one of our YouTube watchers. So basically, this is a bike that you control everything. Well, you can control everything. You have traction control, ABS, you have wheelie control, you have launch control. But one of the big things is, why doesn't it have cruise control? And would that be something that the new SP would come with?
Yeah, so I've not seen any information regarding cruise controls for these bikes. So I'm guessing that it's not being a touring orientated motorcycle, especially in Europe and here, shorter rides, city riding, very much similar to the Scrambler, just a different type of motorcycle. So I haven't heard of or see that coming onto these bikes. It's a strange thing. Overseas, there's a big following. Friends of mine went to did a trip in Europe at Stelvio's Pass. This is the most popular bike on the road there. Really? Everybody has a Monster.
But then what you said earlier makes a lot of sense. Is like, they don't put cruise control on it because as far as they're concerned, their market doesn't want cruise control on it. It doesn't make sense. Whereas here, our distances are a little bit more spread out. So guys would say, I've got a 50, 60 Ks to go, pop it on and off you go.
Yeah.
And then as far as the SP goes that Don mentioned, what's the word on that? Will we be getting one on our shores soon?
Yeah, so they launched, as you saw, I think September, October was launching all the new bikes. The Monster SP was one of those. So in true SP tradition, you'll get the Olins on. I know you guys were thinking the front was a bit soft, so at least you'll have the Olin suspension.
Yep.
Obviously upgraded and better Brembo brakes. There's the livery change. The wheels, I think, are not these. They upgraded wheels.
Basically,
the
everything
usual
that we pointed out and said, oh, we'd like that to be a little bit better.
SP.
The SP comes along right after we put the video out and say, this is what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So, no, thanks for that, Ducati.
As well, sorry, I just wanted to find out. So with the new SP, it's more cosmetic and, like the shocks and little fairings and things like that changed. It's nothing to the engine itself.
Generally not, but so what I forgot to mention earlier, when you put the homologated Ducati pipes on, there's a map as well.
Okay.
So they do change the mapping. I think if I remember correctly, the SP definitely has the mapping ready because it comes with the pipe, the full pipe. That was the other addition to that model. So you should get more power. I think if I remember correctly, on the multi-strata with the homologated acro pipe, it's 5 kilowatt, 5 newton meters of torque, and 5 kilograms of weight reduction. So I assume similar.
So yeah, just in terms of the exhaust alone, there should be upgrades already added to it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any idea of price point for the SP here?
So the SP will retail here at about 282. So these are now 232-ish. So another 50 grand gets you an SP.
Which is not bad.
Which is not bad.
Things that we said, we'd like to upgrade for Ducati to add all of that in it and say, cool,
yeah,
there you go.
Well, if you just look at Sorry,
no.
Yeah, we were saying the pipe would cost you probably 40. Now you're getting that plus Olins, plus the better brakes, or Brembo all the way, or bigger brakes. Plus, it's not a bad deal.
No, absolutely. No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to hear that Ducati is taking the time to listen to feedback and to say, cool, these are the bikes that we have. This is how we upgrade them. They bring it to market, and at a price point that, if you think about all the things that you get, it really, really isn't bad.
Yeah.
So that's really cool to see. So that's it for questions from our side. We really appreciate your time answering them today.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
And the only thing that's left is to remind you guys, if you want to come check out the rest of their range of bikes and accessories at World of Motorcycles, pop in and come say hi. Thank you to Ducati SA as well for loaning us the bike for review. We couldn't have done it without you. And lastly, remember to like and subscribe for more awesome content from myself, Josh, and Don.
Donovan.
We'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.